Robert Mbui, looking at what's just happened, and we've seen KEMSA in similar muddled procurement before. What statement is the president sending this time?
Yeah, thank you, Sam. Now, first and foremost, excuse me, now, I think the first thing we need to ask ourselves as a country is for how long are we going to put greed ahead of the health of our people and the livelihoods of Kenyans? Mm-hmm. Because this seems to be a problem that we've always faced. And it's surprising that one of the areas where corruption takes place at a very high level is KEMSA, and that is a body that deals with the medicaments for the country. I mean, mm-hmm. the greed that these business people portray in their transactions with KEMSA is quite shocking. And I want to thank the media because they picked up this issue and raised this question with the president when he had that interview at State House. And immediately after that, we can see action has been taken. I would also like to say that I want to thank God because this has happened, so that, the Kenya Kwanza regime and brigade can stop continuously blasting the former president on issues KEMSA, because it has happened now under their watch. So that, that thing, because every day in Parliament, some of those leaders, when they stand to speak, they must always point fingers at the problems that occurred at KEMSA, in KEMSA during the period of, COVID. So I'm kind of, I'm not happy about the corruption, but I'm happy to note that now that will put a stop to that issue. But then I remember I was here when we were talking about the appointments to positions of CSs. Mm-hmm. And you asked us a question about the CSs that were appointed and what our opinion was. And you asked, I remember you asked whether we feel that there is any that, who was the best in our opinion. My opinion was a CS for health, because she seemed to have a very good grasp on matters health, because she had already been in the industry. She had already, she seemed to understand the problems and the concerns. And I'm happy that 8 months after that comment I made here, that she seems to be able to understand our system, mm-hmm. and her operations. She's actually involved in making sure that she puts together and she puts in order that ministry. But I hope that all appointments were done in the manner in which that particular one was done, when we use competence to decide who takes over an office. If that was the case with everyone, then we'll probably have no issues. I'm scared, because now we have this kind of KEMSA, and I'm telling you very, very soon we'll have another one on fertilizer. We will be discussing that in the next short while once Parliament finishes the conversation. Otherwise, I think for me, the main issue is, why can't we as Kenyans be comfortable with what we can get from our hard-earned sweat and stop stealing continuously? This process, you've just indicated here, is so flawed, because you can tell the reason why it is being, the goalpost keeps shifting is because there is obviously interest in some of those leaders. There are people who want to make sure that they direct the procurement process so that a certain individual can get this tender, and it totally unacceptable. And then we embarrass the country. Global Fund has supported this country in a lot of, malaria issues and other issues. It's a TB and others. It's unfortunate that we embarrass ourselves as a country in this manner.